Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to pick two random SoulsBorne bosses, and then there will be two separate yards full of snow and ice and all that crap. And both of the bosses will be tasked with snow removal, and whoever removes their snow and ice the fastest will be the winner. One of those yards is my yard, so if they do it fastest in my yard, they will get an extra bonus. I do not know what that bonus is, but I will figure it out. So there it is. Now I'm making him do jobs around my house, so I think that's the way to do things here. SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. It is time. It is time, once again, to pick the competitors for SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. And competitor number one is Rennala, Queen of the Full Moon from Elden Ring. Rennala kind of starts off as a gimmick boss, and then it kind of turns into a legit boss fight. I like Rennala. I think she's tough, and the magic in Elden Ring is just fucking ridiculous. Completely overpowered. It's just absurd. It's just absurd. But yeah, Rennala's a good choice. I wouldn't say she's a main event caliber competitor, but solid mid card. Solid mid card, I would say. So. Not too disappointing of a choice here in SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to take this wheel for another spin. Rennala can use her magic pretty well, probably, to remove the snow from my yard. So that would be pretty cool. The weather is still ridiculous up here in the Northeast. So I mean, right now, as I'm recording this, it's actually kind of getting warmer a little bit. So that's a good thing. But it's been snow and ice for weeks now. It's been ridiculous. So so yeah, Rennala's help in snow removal will be greatly appreciated. Alright, we have Rennala, Queen of the Full Moon, in one corner, and in the other corner we have the Nameless King from Dark Souls 3. Ooh boy. I don't know. I have an opinion on this one, but as I've said many times before, I'm not allowed to give my opinion on this portion of the show. I have to save that for the verdict. We must go to the contractually obligated bio, so let's have a look at Rennala, Queen of the Full Moon. Rennala is the head of the Academy of Raya Lucaria. She leads it into battle against Radagon and the Golden Order when Marika establishes her reign of order and sends Radagon after her. Eventually, after 2 wars, they get married. They had 3 children together, Radahn, Rykard, and Ranni. But after the first Elden Lord, Godfrey, is driven from the lands between, Radagon leaves Rennala and goes and marries Marika so he can become the second Elder Lord. So basically, what a dick. When Radagon leaves, he gifts Rennala with the Amber Egg that houses the rune, the Great Rune of the Unborn. After Radagon leaves, Rennala is crushed, and the Academy realizes that they had no champion at all, ever. They thought Rennala was a champion, and when she reacted like this, they didn't feel her to be a champion anymore, so they locked her in the library. While inside the library, Rennala slowly loses her mind, starts reincarnating the juvenile scholars over and over and over again. So that's basically how she is when you meet her in the game. As I said earlier, the first phase is basically a gimmick phase. It's kind of a joke, honestly, although it's kind of its own pain in the ass. But the second phase, Rennala is much more formidable, and she will be a tough opponent.
The Nameless King is the firstborn son of Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight. You may remember him as the final boss of Dark Souls 1. The Nameless King took part in the war between his father and the dragons. After Gwyn linked the first flame, the throne passed to his eldest son, the Nameless King, but his reign was marred by catastrophes. Then finally one day he said, "Screw it, I'm going to align with the ancient dragons," and that did not make the gods of Anor Londo very happy. When you battle him in Dark Souls 3, he rides a dragon called King of the Storm, and he's able to harness lightning in a variety of ways. Long story short, if the Nameless King were sleeping in a bathtub and you dropped a plug-in toaster in there, he would not give a shit at all.
You know, on paper, this looks like a pretty cut and dry fight. It really looks like the Nameless King would take it. You know, no questions asked. But once again, I always say, I try to bring these bosses up to a level playing field. Renala being one of the earlier bosses in Elden Ring, and Nameless King being one of the tougher bosses in Dark Souls 3. I think this fight is a lot closer than you think it is. I think Renala has a lot of tricks up her sleeve, and I think this is I think this fight is very, very close, actually. I think that Renala, on a level playing field, could take the fight to the Nameless King and could possibly win. However, I think more often than not, I think the Nameless King takes this fight, and the reason I say that, although I'm still iffy on it, but the reason I say that, sorry, my animals are playing over there. The reason I say that is Renala's lack of defense. She really doesn't have a whole lot in the way of defense. Her defense is her summoning thing, really. And that could make things difficult for the Nameless King, although I don't think the wolves would be a factor. The bloodhound thing that she summons could be an issue for Nameless King, and the giant that she summons, could definitely be a problem. It's tough. It's really, really tough, but I still say Nameless King comes out on top. I am very reluctant to say that, though. Honestly, I really, really am. And if someone turns around and says that they believe Renala would win on a level playing field, I would not fight with them. I would not fight with them on that, because especially with magic being really overblown in Elden Ring anyways, you know, I can believe it. I can believe that Renala could beat the Nameless King, but I think that the Nameless King takes this fight. That is just my opinion, however. Feel free to leave yours in the comments. And with that, yet another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death comes to a close. RobertBlanchardBooks.com. If you're interested in the Roar of a Dragon series, you can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. If you'd like to hear more about them, the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. My Linktree, my Instagram, and my Twitter are all Bobby's World 2110. Mondays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Elden Ring No Crimson Flask run, which is obviously still ongoing. We are working our way through the Weeping Peninsula, which I'm counting as part of Volume 1 Limgrave. That's what we're doing right now. So I think we're working our way toward Castle Morn, I'm sorry. Thinking of the Bourne Identity, which I don't even watch those movies. I don't even know why I thought of that. But, so we're working our way through Castle Morn, and then after that, I think we're going to get through Stormvale Castle. We do have the one village, though, in Limgrave with the, can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but all the dead people and the dead Mariner, the Tibia Mariner, I think. Yes. So we still have that to deal with. And then, right here, Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. Come back here next week. We will pit 2 more SoulsBorne bosses against each other, and we will hopefully have entertaining bios, and then we will see which one would beat the other. So that is what we do around here. Fun times all around. Leave a like, subscribe, notifications, and all that nonsense. I love you guys. Thank you for your love and support. On the Elden Ring videos, I've talked about some personal stuff that has happened, and my health seems to be in a little bit of a decline lately. But I'm going to hang in there, and I got some days off. I'm going to see if that helps out at all. But for right now, just going to keep pushing forward and see what happens. But I appreciate the love, and it means a lot to me. So that's all I really got to say about that. Have an amazing week. Be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. See how's Eve alive, y'all. Bye! What's going on, guys? Thank you for checking out the video today, but I got a question for you. Did you know I wrote a book? Did you know I wrote 3 books? Did you know that they're all part of the same series? The Roar of a Dragon, The Treachery of a Weasel, and The Cry of a Raven. ReadersFavorite.com says that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. Now, I personally think that's crazy, but it's not for me to judge. It's for you to judge. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com and you can check out the books right now. But wait, that's not all. All 3 books got 5-star reviews in ReadersFavorite.com. These books won the Silver Medal in the Literary Titan Awards. The Cry of a Raven won Silver at the Global eBook Awards. So what are you waiting for? Read about Aiden's dream to become a Knight of Delmar. Read about his death and resurrection. Oops, I gave that away, didn't I? And read about his journey back home from 3,000 years in the future to stop the evil that started in Delmar. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And then, if you're interested, you can buy the books there as well. And if you've already read the books or you just want to hear more about them, you can check out the Rise of Dragons podcast. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And in every episode, I cover a character from the book, an event from the book, my journey into writing, and everything in between. Ripley, what do you got to say about all this?
Give me a treat or I will end you.
You know she's telling you to check out the books. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com to check out the books or listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast if you want to hear about them. That's all I got to say, and thank you for watching this video.